Nintendo at it again, coming out of left field with a very unexpected announcement, and this does follow a pretty thoroughly established trend where directs are for like big major game announcements and stuff, and then the other like weird kind of casual or like blue ocean-y peripheral stuff or hardware or whatever, those come in their own random announcements. So it makes sense, though I do have to wonder, is there like, cause like we started to kind of see a pattern with direct, like when they announce a direct, it's usually on like the same days of the week, same time, 7 in the morning Pacific. Has there been a time for these weird random ones? Is it 3 p.m. Pacific? Is that the thing? Is that when I need to start like paying attention? Wednesday, 3 p.m. or something for like the weird random ones? I don't really know. Anyway, whole point is Game Builder Garage. It is a name that I'm having a hard time remembering because it's a very plain name. It's very to the point, isn't it? Which isn't bad, but I keep having to like look at my notes to remind myself what it is. So the entire concept, if you haven't seen the little thingy already, you probably have, but basically the whole point is that you make your own games. It's just like a little like kind of light programming kind of thing, visual programming or something. You can make your own games. Basically lifted out of Labo, because Labo had its whole like Labo garage thing where you could make games, and it kind of flew under the radar. There weren't a lot of people doing stuff with it, I think because Labo itself was very expensive. You had to be pretty much an enthusiast, you had to be pretty into the whole thing to try to make your own Labo thing. So they just like broke that right out of the Labo and gave it to us as its own little thing, which makes perfect sense, absolute sense. Now it's something that anyone can enjoy. Don't have to worry about the cardboard or anything. I mean, like it always seemed really intimidating to me. I never even touched the Labo. Like I played around with Labo. I didn't touch the garage. I didn't understand it. But here, having this one dedicated piece of software, they were able to package it for $30, which is great. You know, much less than 100 and whatever it costs for Labo. $30. It's accessible, cheaper. It's cool. It's a great idea. And it's like, it's another one of those ideas that was just sitting there. You know, like I try to do predictions and stuff, like for each year and like before E3s and stuff, I try to predict what'll happen, predict what games Nintendo will make. This one was just sitting there. They came up with a pretty like weirdly powerful little game creation tool in Labo. So it was just sitting there. The idea of them taking it and turning it into its own thing makes all the sense in the world. Makes all the sense in the world. And yet I didn't see it, So yeah, at least according to what I read, it looks like it's gonna have mouse support, which is very cool. Obviously, you'll be able to use the little touch screen on the Switch. I don't know if there would be like a regular cursor in docked mode, or if you gotta do it on the Switch. But yeah, mouse support would be pretty darn cool. But has any Switch game had that yet? Doesn't Mario Maker not have mouse support? Why would that not? But this would. I don't know. Whatever. Whole point is, it's a really neat idea. The biggest question, anytime you see something like this right away, is how deep does it go? It's hard to get a feel, you know, just based on the initial trailer for like how deep of a tool is this. The trailer itself mentions programming, you know, and then but then it shows some very basic things like, oh, you map this to jump and this to make the object bigger. It doesn't show a lot of the more complex stuff. And I don't know anything about programming, not a single thing. So I, at this point, do not know how closely this experience will relate to actual like programming. Like, does this give a person practical knowledge for programming? My gut says no, because programming is like typing code and stuff, so I don't know what kind of systems are similar to this, but again, I don't really know at all. I do think that even if it doesn't like literally teach you actual programming, it seems that it could teach the basics of just like if-thens and just, you know, just the building blocks of what programming is, even if not, you know, typing out code or whatever. And that's why this seems like the best audience for this kind of thing is like kids who want to get into game design, game programming, and need like an actual like first, just absolute starting point, you know, the first step to take before it's time to learn a language or anything like that. It's this, and I think that's awesome. As a tool, like, that's incredible. Like, who knows how many kids could end up being inspired by this and go on to become actual, you know, coders and game developers and stuff. And I think that's really awesome. And kind of back on the subject of how deep does it go, like I said, the trailer doesn't show a lot of like the doing part, but at the end it does show a lot of samples, and from what you can tell, it looks like a very varied collection of different gameplay types. And I'm sure like each game is not going to be, you know, like, oh, I built the whole entire game. It's probably just going to be like little mini games, essentially. I mean, maybe not, I don't know. But yeah, it does show a good amount. And I don't know if that means that you can create a brand new type of game that they have not displayed here, or if every single one of those is based on a template. Because you can, you know, learn. It's got like tutorials you can go based off of the templates for the games that they've created, or you can make your own. So yeah, like, I don't know, like, can I make something that Nintendo never even anticipated? I don't really know. It looks like probably, just because, like I said, like all those examples of like different weird gameplay and stuff, and you can make your own assets. That right there is a big one. I was watching and I was kind of like waiting, like, okay, but when does the game stop looking like a little block guy jumping over blocks and stuff? And there it is at the end. You can even draw your own stuff. Again, I don't know how deep the you know, the creation tool is for making your own assets. This is just mostly geometric figures and you're just putting stamps on there or whatever. Who knows, but that is a very, very important detail that's going to allow people to make things that are, you know, actually like unique or funny or whatever. And sadly, I must say, this is not for me. Gosh, there's so many. I hate living in this time in the age that I am. I wish I were a kid. There's so many games. Like, all I wanted when I was a kid was these kinds of tools for creating stuff, you know, making levels, Mario Maker, Minecraft, all that stuff. That's all I wanted. And there wasn't any of it available. And I had all the time in the world and all the patience in the world and the desire to make stuff. And now I'm a lame adult. I have no time. I don't have the patience and the desire for any of this, and yet it's here, and so I can play it and go, hey, that's cool. Yeah, it's not for me, though, you know, which is unfortunate. So yeah, I probably won't end up playing this. I mean, probably not even like I could do like a little impressions thing or something, but I don't really think that'd be worth it. But I can see the value in a product like this. Absolutely. I think it's absolutely terrific. It's more accessible than ever. Again, it's only $30. They took it out of the labo, so now you just got it right there. I do think that it will be fun. It'll be a little bit like the original Labo Garage, except probably on a wider scale now, where it's fun to see, like, oh, you're on Twitter, and oh, look what this person made. And then you look, and you're like, oh, that's cute. And then you go on, you know, you kind of keep scrolling. Like, at the very least, I think it will be fun to see other people's creations, although I am disappointed here. It looks like, we don't know for sure, but it sounds, just based on all the info people have, it sounds like there's not going to be a good like online sharing element within the game. It sounds like to get other people's games, you have to exchange codes and stuff. And like, obviously you can go online and get people's codes and put them in and all that stuff. But like, imagine if you had to do that with Mario Maker. Mario Maker would be dead on day one. Like, it's just like you need to be able, because like, some people want to play the game to make the levels. Some people just want to play the game to play the levels, you know? Like, I ended up playing more of Mario Maker 2 than I did make in Mario Maker 2, because that's what I thought was fun. And if that is not here, like, the game will be dead. Like, I don't think there's much value in a game that you can't just boot up and explore. I mean, like, putting in codes, that's such a pain. I mean, like, maybe if there's like a website and there's like QR codes, so I could like just hold my phone up on the website and it'll take me straight there or something. But I don't know, I'd say it was very, very silly of Nintendo to not have like an integrated sharing thing. And if that's the case, then I can kind of see why, probably because these these games are more customizable than Mario because you can draw your own assets. So of course, they are more afraid of people abusing that. I would not be surprised if that was the sole reason that there is not a better sharing thing. They don't want to be responsible for that, but I don't know. They're just shooting themselves in the foot if they're afraid of that. And you know what I mean? Like, come on, I'm a grown-up. I'm not a kid. I just let me do it. You know, say, are you a kid? Yes. Sorry, you can't share on this game. Are you an adult? There you go. Now you can share. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. So I will be really, really bummed if that's the case, because it's already a fairly niche idea that is fun, but pretty niche, and they're just gonna stifle it. They're just gonna make it much more niche if there's no proper way to be sharing and stuff. It'll be a little amusement that we scroll past a couple things on Twitter and then we move on, you know? But anyway, overall, what a cool idea. What a cute little idea. And I think it's interesting to see Nintendo continuing to make these new kinds of things that are not tied to any previous franchise, you know? Like, Labo has its own identity. It wasn't like Mario's Cardboard Maker or whatever, you know? And like Ring Fit Adventure. It wasn't Mario Fit Time. It was just kind of its own thing, which of course is something they did with the Wii, but with the Wii, they had a more specific Wii branding with Mii's and stuff they could tie it around. Here, it's just kind of its own thing, but I like that. It's not Mario's Game Maker Garage. It's just kind of this with the little block guys and stuff. It's kind of got its own identity, and I think that's fun. Oh yeah, so me and my friend Brian, like, we're always trying to get, like, we're always talking about how Nintendo, like, everything they do is so unexpected, and like, he in particular has been thinking about the whole Blue Ocean peripheral thing, how like we thought Nintendo was kind of done with those, but then they like gave us Labo and they gave us a Ring Fit, and it's like, what else can they possibly give us? Like, are they gonna give us another weird peripheral thing? And it's been driving us crazy just trying to like imagine what it could be. See, but that was us assuming it was either gonna be another weird peripheral thing or not ever again any weird peripheral thing. No, the answer was even less expected, because that's what Nintendo does, is what you don't expect. It was a weird peripheral thing. Without the peripheral. They took the peripheral off of a previous thing, and they're selling that to us. Didn't see it coming. Never saw it coming. Never would have seen it coming. So that's pretty funny. But you, my friend, what do you think about checking notes? Game Builder Garage. That's the name of it. What do you think? Are you excited? Are you gonna get into this? Are you gonna start making games? Are you just gonna make your own Zelda games? Your own Metroids if Nintendo won't do it? Insert any number of jokes about making a game that Nintendo doesn't want to make. Are you gonna localize Mother 3 with this? Who knows? We'll see. Please, I beg of you, have a wondrous day, and goodbye.